Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome to safetystudygroup.com, Safety Study Group's YouTube channel, Duniatna.com, and Duniatna's YouTube channel. Today we will talk about the points to be included in emergency procedures. And this is a part of the NEBOSH IGC in element 3. So let's dive right in. Evacuation, terrorist threat, bomb threat, any kind of alarm that you have on site, you must include the kind of emergency. And don't forget that in the night shift and some other workers that come during the holidays, or when nobody is there. For example, like today is a bank holiday, nobody's coming, but you still have housekeeping staff and the security people, they will still be on site. So point number one is to consider what might happen and how the alarm will be raised, not to forget the night and shifts that are working, and don't forget the weekends and times when premises are closed, for example, holidays. That's the first point. The second point is you must plan what to do, including how to call the emergency services like ambulance, fire, police, army, if needed, So you must plan what to do, including how to call the emergency services in case you need them. And you can help them by clearly marking the premises from the road. And you must consider drawing up a simple plan showing the location of hazardous items. Like if you have a construction site and you have a special chemicals area, you gotta show them that, hey, this is a chemicals area and we have hazardous items, so you gotta be careful. If you have 25 tons or more of dangerous substances on site, you must notify the fire and rescue department services, and you must have warning signs put up in place telling pedestrians and other workers and other people that share the same location, and possibly even neighbors, neighboring communities or businesses, hey, you know what, we have this much of this chemical. So you must have signs, and notification must be made to fire and rescue services in case you have equal to or more than 25 tons of dangerous substances. If the alarm is raised, now you're in a state of emergency. Now, in the emergency, where will people go? You have to decide where to go to reach a place of safety and to get rescue equipment. So the area must be suitable and it must be properly lit for emergencies, and the equipment must be there. For example, once you go to that place of safety, let's say a muster point, what kind of rescue equipment do you have? Do you have stretchers? Do you have an axe? Do you have rope? Do you have breathing apparatuses? Do you have emergency lights? Do you have this? Do you have that? These things must be included in your points whenever you are making any emergency procedures. Make sure there are enough emergency exits for everyone. It must be enough for everyone to escape quickly, and keep emergency doors and escape routes unobstructed and clearly marked. Like don't store equipment, tools, or material, and don't allow parking at the emergency doors or routes, so not even on the way to the emergency. You must also include somebody to manage and control health and safety emergencies in your workplace. So that somebody has to be competent, and competent means a person who's got the necessary skills, knowledge, and experience to manage such an emergency. Think about your workplace, and during your drills or real emergencies, who is always there to manage? Who is always there and has a role to play during emergencies? Now, on top of having somebody competent to manage health and safety emergencies, you have to decide which other key personnel are needed. For example, do you have an incident controller? Do you have someone who is able to provide technical and other site-specific information? Are the first aiders available? Do you have a night shift rescue team? All these people, you have to make sure that there are means of notification to reach these people in case that they are not present on site during the emergency. You also must plan essential actions such as emergency plant shutdown, isolation, or making processes safe. Clearly identify important items like shut-off valves and electrical isolators. You have to train everybody. Everybody must take part of emergency procedures. Like if you train everyone in emergency procedures, that means you can have a small class of explanation, like each person must know their role, or you can do drills to identify weaknesses and strengths. So in the training, you must also include the needs of people with disabilities and vulnerable workers. I always have problems pronouncing this word. Vulnerable workers. So you have to make rescue training, man down search and rescue, H2S drills, fire drills, muster drills, and the rescuers themselves, they have to receive their own training on how to handle the victim and pick them up. Doctor, ambulance training, firefighting training, all these people must be trained on emergency procedure. Also, the work should not resume. I repeat, the work should not resume after an emergency if a serious danger remains. Like, something happened, a big fire. Okay, now it's off. Let's continue work. No, there's still danger. And see here, it didn't say safety violation or anything. No, it said danger. So danger here, maybe you have a lot of things that are taking place now. Like you have burnt wood or substructures that are damaged, or buildings that are burnt. You have problems breathing now. You have all kinds of issues that have arisen. So you need to assess the situation before you go back to work. So work should not resume after an emergency if a serious danger remains. If in doubt, if you have any doubt about this, ask for assistance from the emergency services. All that being said, contact with the relevant emergency services prior to any emergencies actually occurring may be very, very important. The reason why it's important is because it will give them prior knowledge of what you're doing, how you're doing it, what your procedures are, what kind of materials, substances, and equipment do you have on site. This way, it will help them ensure that the correct and prompt response in any emergency is ready. Like maybe they have different responses, but once they know, oh, it's that so and so factory. Okay, we know what they use. Okay, let's go. So they will be pre-ready for you. You know how in airports they say boarding and pre-boarding. So they will be more ready for you. So get in touch with them. Tell them what you are. Tell them what your needs are in case of emergencies, especially fire departments. So talk to them. Make sure that they know who you are, they know what your job is, and so on. Well guys, thank you for watching. This is the end of this video. I hope you found it beneficial, and I'll see you in the next one.